What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another project I'm going to add to my never-ending list of projects. So this is a 2016 R-Pod by Forest River. It is a little one-axle two-person camper that I got. I was shopping around for parts for the toy hauler and I came across this and I could not pass up a good deal. It did come out a little bit more than I expected. I'll share the price later on. But I'm gonna take you guys back in time to when we went to go pick this guy up. Here's all the damage that I'm trying to fix. Right now I'm trying to get the slide out in because it's not working, so I could travel with it home. Alrighty, so we are in a Target parking lot. I probably look like a crackhead making some crack or something in here, but this is the inside of the camper. It's a little bit worse than the pictures showed, but all the structure is still there. This beam right here is bent in because the aluminum heated up. Right now what I'm doing is I'm making these little, with whatever wires in this camper, I'm trying to get the slides to work. The motors surprisingly do work, so the slide is coming in. I'm just trying to get it as far in as possible. That way when I go on the freeway, this thing doesn't stick out. Once, watch, I'll show you guys. Here's the slide out. Surprisingly, it is moving, so I'm kind of teetering one side to the next to get it in. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna need a lot of work, more than I wanted to do, but with a fresh coat of paint, some more panels, I think this camper could have a second life, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna finish closing up the slide out and get on the road. Alright, so the slide out is finally in. This side kind of closed all the way. This side's a little out. I think there is material down on the floor that doesn't let it close. But I left my wife at Target. I'm gonna head to Home Depot. I'm gonna buy probably 1 or 2 sheets of Luan since I'm gonna be needing that material. And I'm gonna slap it on the side right here. That way we could travel safely down the freeway and get home. Alright, so this is how it looks outside. It's already, the slide out is basically fixed. Just kidding. But anyways, this should keep a lot of the crap out. I mean in, because a lot of this stuff was coming out when I was driving. I was able to get the slide out like I said before. So now I'm going to go back to Home Depot and buy a respirator because I don't have one. So when I get home I can start tearing into this. But yeah guys, this is what it looks like. So now the long journey home. Alrighty, so I patched it up. I went in there and bought these 3 sheets for 20 bucks. They were remnants, so they were 70% off. I did one outside, one on that roof hole. I don't really know what I'm working with up there because the roof is non-walkable, but that domestic shroud should be all right. I really don't know if the AC works because it's really, really melted in there, so I'm kind of guessing that's not working anymore. That's a leftover piece, but I will do a walk around when I get home. I just want to get home because it's getting kind of late and we got stuff to do. Alrighty guys, we got the wife. Now we're gonna head home. One last walk around before we head out. I screwed this in a lot of places. I screwed it here to the window frame. I mean, it should hold up. Like you saw, the roof is a little taped up there or screwed together. I'm hoping it all goes smooth down the road. Alrighty, so we finally made it home. I didn't really record on the way because it was swaying and I wanted to concentrate on the road and not recording. So everything made it perfectly. There is a little bit more water damage that I did notice. It looks like whenever they put the fire out, a lot of the water stayed inside the coach. But the good thing is that they did keep those compartment doors open, so it did vent. But now is the fun part. Now I gotta tear into it and figure out what I'm gonna do. Alrighty, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a rest and I'm gonna come tear into the camper. Alrighty guys, so let's talk some numbers. So I had originally won this camper at the first go around. It went through the auction twice. The first time I won the bid at 60 bucks. About 2.5 days later, whoever owned it decided they didn't want that less, so they let it run through again. This time around I put a minimum, not a minimum bid, a maximum bid of $200. Maybe a day before the auction it got ran up. During the auction I got ran up again to $350. So I won the bid at $350 with fees, pickup fees and all that stuff. It came up to $680. So yeah, it's a little bit more than I wanted to spend. It is still a really good deal though for what it is. I think new around the not new, but in this condition this year, you probably find them around $13, $12, $15,000 depending on when you get it. So I'm into this around, let's just say 700 bucks right now, and maybe another $700 to $1,000. I'm into this thing $1,700 at the most, and it's basically a brand new camper, and I think that's a pretty good deal. But yeah guys, so here it is. I'm gonna get back to work. I already shot some of these videos, but I'm gonna include them here and show you guys the progress. Alrighty guys, I don't know if you guys could hear me because I'm wearing a face mask, but I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing into it. I want to get all the junk off the floor. I gotta protect myself because it's nasty in here. Yeah, I want to get all this crap out of here that needs to go. That way I can start tearing into basically the kitchen. So here's the kitchen. I've cleaned out the floor. Surprisingly, the floor is in really good shape. I have been noticing though there is kind of water damage. This was expected, honestly, at the bottom where I feel like the water was stagnant whenever this thing was sitting at the auction or wherever it was at. I have yet to take out the fridge. I'm probably going to work on that tomorrow because it's getting kind of late. The nice thing is that I did find the keys to the R-Pod. They are melted. These are the door keys and this is the compartment keys, and I don't know what these are yet. I haven't separated them. But this thing did not come with any keys, so that's a plus that I found them. That is a lot of headache because that is one less thing I have to buy. I don't have to buy a new entry door latch. Anyways, I am gonna have to remove this compartment. That way I could just put a full roof. It's gonna need 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 sheets of Luan plywood inside. I'm not gonna have this fridge here anymore. I'm going to have a 12-volt refrigerator that I use on my square drop, and then some storage. Alrighty, so I'm gonna keep at it. Alrighty, so it's the next day and the demo work continues. So what I did right now is I just took out the mattress. I was looking for the water pump and it's actually over there, so that is safe. I think that's the water heater and the furnace. That all looks to be safe. Nothing that I have to really worry about down there. The only thing is obviously these walls that have to be repaired. I'm working on basically taking out all the burnt components. I'm gonna try to work on this, and I don't know how I'm gonna attack this, but I kind of want to try to take it out as complete as possible because I do have to rebuild this dinette area. I mean, not the dinette, the kitchen area. The other thing that was worrying me was the control for the slide out, and it is all the way at the bottom, and it looks to be safe. It looks to be complete. It wasn't getting any power, so I think something melted in there during the fire, so it wasn't working. But I have hopes that it will work since the motors did work. Alrighty, so the refrigerator is out. Here it is right there. I think this was the culprit of the fire because the fire looks like it originated right there. So what it looks like they were doing was they were trying to figure out why the fridge wasn't working, I'm guessing, because the cover for the fridge was inside the camper. Both of the two covers, that has one there, one on the top over there, they were both out and they were inside the camper and were not burnt. Also, the front propane cover was in there, and there was melted material inside of it. So I'm guessing that they were trying to troubleshoot this guy. They had the covers off, and somehow it caught fire, and that's where it all went. Alrighty, I'm gonna start to do some more cleanup here. I'm trying to get rid of all the burnt area. I'm gonna start peeling all that crap off. I'm gonna see if I can clean up all these beams, scrape all this crap off. Alrighty, so the kitchen is finally out. It was actually pretty easy. It was held together right there. There's a couple of screws. There's a couple of screws in the back over there. The good thing is that they use this aluminum tin. I mean, this is actual tin, and they put it up against the aluminum whenever they want to screw stuff into the aluminum, and that helps it stay there. So that is a really good idea. So I'm gonna have to keep all these ones that I find. I know they're ugly, but I'll keep them. But anyways, what I want to do now, before I take the slide out, I want to take off the rooftop AC unit and this mangled melted fan in here. Alrighty, so I've been making more of a mess here, but what I've been doing is I've been scraping the ceiling off. All the melted insulation, I've been scraping it off. I'm trying to get all the burnt area off that I can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to clean up these beams, and if they don't clean up, because this soot's really hard to remove, I'm going to use some of that Kilt's restoration primer, and I'm going to spray paint these beams. That way it seals them, and it seals all that odor inside of it. It doesn't really smell bad in here, but you can smell a little bit of a burnt smell. Alrighty, so I made more of a mess here than I was intending to, but I went ahead and took out this little cabinet here. I'm not sure what I'm going to end up doing in this section. I might put a different type of cabinet, or I might rebuild the cabinet. I'm not too sure yet. I know storage is kind of limited in this camper, so I might have to put something in here. I just don't know if it's going to be that. I finished up the inside. What I was going to do, I basically just tore out whatever I could, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. I really need to focus on the slide out and the outside wall. The interior could be done after this is done. But anyways, I took off the corner trims. That side was really easy to do because half of the other wall was missing. This side was a little bit more difficult, but it did come off pretty good. I have to take this whole wall off because this whole wall goes in as one piece. As you can see here, it's sandwiched together. So I'm gonna rebuild the outside of the wall separate, and then the interior structure in another portion, and then it all gets married together with these little trims. So I'm taking this trim off. That way, hopefully I can take this whole wall out complete, and I have a big template to rebuild it. All right, so the Phylon siding is out. So this is the wall, well, the outside skin basically of the wall. It came out pretty easy, honestly, because it really wasn't attached anymore. It was just basically glued on there. So now you could see these little screws that connect the outside frame to the inside frame. So I just got to pull those screws out, and hopefully this whole outside wall will come out, and that'll be my template for the rebuild. But alrighty, this is going to be it for today. Tune back in for the next video as I continue the progress. Thank you guys.